The pedagogy of chaos is one of the most exciting pedagogies of the activated classroom teaching approach. And I say that because it really challenges our minds, it challenges the minds of our students. We live in a world where there is just too much information, there's too little information, there's missing information, there's conflicting information. Often information doesn't make sense, and our students need to learn to navigate a world that is extremely complex. They need to learn to not only navigate that world and handle the information overload, but make sense of that information, to get meaning from that information. And I find in my work, especially at the postgrad level with many students doing masters and PhD, one of the things they find hardest is trying to make sense of data, trying to make sense of the confusion or the overabundance of information. And this is a skill that's vital that our students learn at a very young age. And the pedagogy of chaos is particularly suited to this. Constantly in their online lives, they are learning this in a small way. They're learning to try and understand, to try and make sense of, to try and determine what they should read, what they shouldn't read, what actually is the meaning of what's out there. And so the pedagogy of chaos is a way of trying to take that and build upon it and develop key skills. Skills of categorization, skills of reading, skills of analysis. And these are all key skills in terms of our 21st century learner. So one of the ways of doing this is using mind maps. Now, mind maps have moved a long way from where they were many years ago, where you would just sit with a piece of paper. Mind maps allow us to now try and create visual representations of things that are possibly not clearly understood. And to illustrate one of these, I want to use Coggle. Now, there's a lot of great free mind maps out there. We're going to be using Coggle, coggle.it, and it's a free tool that can be very effectively used with your students. Give them any topic you like, whether it is history, whether it is mathematics, whether it is geography, biology, whatever it is. When they have got that content, ask them to create a mind map. Because by creating that visual representation of the content, they are forced to distill the key points. They are forced to try and understand what are the aspects, what is the structure of this. And these are hugely important skills when it comes to learning. So this is the pedagogy of chaos. And so let's have a look at how Coggle It works. So quite simply, we are coming to coggle.it. And when you're at the site, you can click on Create a Diagram. Now, you need to sign up, go through the registration. It's all quite simple and free. And there are all sorts of options, obviously, if you decide to upgrade, but you don't need to. So coggle.it and click Create Diagram. Now, what I like about Coggle is it's really simple and straightforward. It gives you a straightforward environment that is clutter-free and lets the students operate straight out. So in the middle, all you're presented is with what is the central concept. So this is very important. So I'm going to create an example where we're going to look at the activated classroom teaching pedagogy. So we will go with that. You just double click and we will call this the ACT approach. Now, once you've created the central concept, you will see that you can move your little mouse pointer around and you can decide to branch off from here. So let's start to populate this. So we know that what are the ACT pedagogies? The key pedagogies are, the lowest one is, that's right, well done, curation. So again, really quite simple. We just go around and the next one is, that's it, conversation. The next one is, that's it. I couldn't hear you. Yes, correction. The next one, creation. Oh, but we're one short. What are we going to do? Because remember, we want there to be 5 coming out of this central thought. Not a problem. You can simply click on wherever you would like the 5th one to appear. Click it over there and we'll get another one. So the final of our activated classroom teaching pedagogies is the one we're dealing with at the moment, chaos. Well done. Now we've got our little mind map starting to take form. Any one you can grab and move it. So we'll move chaos up there. You can reposition them to look however you like. Make them look all absolutely beautiful. And there we have our 5 pedagogies which are central to our ACT model. Now, For any of these, obviously, they can be extended, and this is where the learning really comes in. The power of digital compared to using mind maps in the old style is obviously you can easily edit things. So we're now going to start to expand. I can double click on that and change it if I like, and we'll look at the other options. Or now I can say, well, let's talk about curation. What is curation maybe about? So maybe we want to have a subset of that called the skills that curation brings about. So again, now I can start to say, okay, it encourages or develops a skill of active reading. So I add that. Well, what other skills? Now, rather than adding here, which is going to bring a sub or a child node to the active reading, I want a child node to skills. So I come here to say something else. Well, it develops skills of categorization. It develops skills of analysis, and so on. So again, any of these can be easily moved. But I'd actually like to not only talk about the skills it develops, I'd like to talk about some maybe apps that support curation. So simply click here. We're going to add one of the apps that support curation, which is, sorry, speak up, didn't hear that? Yes, if you've been through the previous lessons, you will know one of the apps was Listly. Super awesome. Here we've got it. But yeah, so that's cool. But Listly's a website. That would be so much cooler if we could actually have it as a clickable link. But we haven't. So let me show you something how we can add as a clickable link. Before you do that, you can hover over any of your nodes, and if you right click, you'll see there's a whole lot of other options. You can transplant, add branches, comment, and also even change colors if you want. I just want to delete that branch. Bang, gone. Super easy. So I want to rather add a node that is actually a clickable link. So we're going to go to our apps again. We're going to click plus. Now, when I hover over here, there are various other options. I can make it italics. I can do also something. I actually want to link it to a website, so we're going to click that option. Right. There are two parts to it. The first is what is going to be the title of the link. So we're just going to call this, it's Listly. The second part is, well, what is the actual link address? Well, that is list.ly. Too easy. There you have it. So now we've got a link to Listly, and so we can continue and create other ones as well. So you get the idea. We can continue to populate this. Let me see if I can do this in a super speedy turbo mode. Bring on Superman. Super awesome. So now I've created some apps that support the pedagogy of conversation. But actually I'd wanted it to have be split into apps and skill. I haven't done that. I'd actually like these to be moved down to a lower node. Not a problem. Come across here, click the plus, add another node rather called apps, and I'd like these to be underneath that node. Hover over the one that you want to move, right click, and you will see there's all these options. One is drag to transplant branch. Simply go there and drag and drop it under apps, and repeat that for all of the other nodes as well. Right, there we've got it. That's better. We have got our nodes arranged as we wanted them. We wanted these to be the app nodes. And now we can add another one that is called skills and talk about the skills that the pedagogy of conversation encourages. And so there you have it, two shakes of a mongoose's tail, and you have managed to create a lovely little mind map that shows you all the options of whatever you're trying to make sense of. So out of the chaos, we've managed to create a mind map. There are lots of other little options that you can explore. As I said, if you right-click, you can obviously change the colors. So if you'd like to do that and start to get all fancy and start to do things with different colors, you are welcome to do that. However, some of these features, as you'll see, are part of the awesome features and cost a little bit of money. So you don't necessarily need to do that. Also, you will notice that there are other options. So you can actually just even use little icons. So if you wanted to add little icons to things and say, well, this is a no entry type, whatever, you can do that as well. So you can fiddle around. There are various other things you can do. But outside of that, the other things that are quite useful is you can very easily share your Coggle. So this is a nice way for your students to quite easily get a link so they can share this Coggle to you as the teacher. They can also obviously download the Coggle, which is obviously straightforward, download it as a PDF or as an image. And again, they could just email it to you or upload it to your social learning network such as Edmodo. What's also fun is I really like Coggle is because it allows for multiple people to work in the same environment. So you can add and invite other people to this Coggle. And what that means is that whoever is included here can also view and edit the Coggle. So you can have your students work in groups. So mind mapping groups is extremely powerful. You can view previous versions, so you can undo. And also what you can do is you can actually have a little bit of a conversation. So we've talked about the pedagogy of conversation in previous lessons. Well, you can combine the pedagogy of creation, conversation, chaos, all into one. So that's Coggle, a great tool for helping students learn to make sense of chaos, and lots of exciting options that you can take with this. Give them any topic, even before a topic or after a topic, after they've read the topic, and encourage them to try and create a mind map and start to develop those key skills that chaos is all about. Persistence, working through the difficulty, analysis, starting to recognize patterns, learning how to categorize, and obviously also issues of being patient. So those are just some of the aspects and the skills that are developed when we work with the pedagogy of chaos.